So first and foremost, as always, I want to welcome everybody to the Megabar Algo launch party. My name is Sean Kozak. I'm the founder and chief architect for Arc AI. And today is a launch event. And what we do with Arc AI is we launch algos. We've got a lot of great systems, a lot of great strategies. And I'm excited for today's presentation because I think it's going to be the solution that most people keep coming to us saying that they're struggling with. And that's direction. And that's being on the wrong side of the market. That's why I asked earlier today, who caught the shorts? If you were trying to catch the longs, you were on the wrong side of the market. That doesn't mean you can't catch some money once in a while, but there's a reason to it. And we're going to get into that. We are going to be recording this event. Yeah. So ultimately, if you can't stay for whatever reason, you got to dip out. Hey, we get it. Busy life. And just make sure you catch the recording when we send it to you tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be some good information. There's some valuable links and some resources to catch an opportunity to come on board the Megabar if this is what you are looking for. I am not going to answer your questions during the event, so don't take offense to it, guys. I got a lot to cover, a lot to present, and my team is here to help. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box. We'll get to it at the end of the event through a Q&A session. And I promise you, it's not because I'm ignoring you. I just want to make sure I get through the material. Okay. And yeah, let's get started. So before I get into the details here and before I get into all of the stuff we're going to be talking about today, I see a lot of people in here are interested in automated trading. Before we go into finding solutions, what is it that you would say is your biggest struggle right now? Can you just put that in the chat box? Like, where are you at right now? What is the biggest pain point you're trying to fix? Everybody's got one. Let's identify with it. What is it? Is it risk management, persistence? Is it being on the wrong side of the market, over leveraging, timing, fear of losing? Working and trading at the same time, Terrence says. FOMO. Okay. Well, help me out here, guys. I need to understand where you're at. A coach cannot be a coach until his team says, hey, I need your help. Too impulsive, James says. Risk, loss management. Dan says finding the best systems to trade and when to use them. That's a good assessment, Dan. Yeah. No patience, Eric says. Hey, I like this. I like that everybody in here is giving me some honest feedback because it's real, right? It's what you're dealing with. Now, it doesn't mean you don't possess great skills or you have a lot of education. A lot of you are very smart. But as we all know, education in this industry does not create dineros in the bank account, right? We're all pretty smart. We need to have an edge. So we build a lot of strategies with ARC. And that's just what we do. A lot of people says, hey, why do we have so many software products? We're a software company, right? ARC is not it's not a trading room where we're sitting here trying to teach you one strategy and sit in the room, right? Like ARC is designed. We sell systems to retail traders, family offices. We've got funds using our systems. We've got, I mean, you name it. I mean, anybody that's in the business for automated strategies. I mean, ARC is solving that demand. And part of that is our R&D team, right? We spend a lot of time going over different system concepts, strategy concepts, looking at prototypes, looking at ideas. I mean, you guys must know that, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, right? But certain things stand out, right? When we're building systems. And one of the biggest problems that I am glad you guys told me your guys' pain points, but what we've seen collectively across all the traders that come through our pipelines and come through our customer user base is being on the wrong side of the market, right? Because you could be in a trending day or in a range day, and traders struggle with being on the right side of the market, whether that's for 5 ticks or whether that's for 50. If you're on the wrong side of the market's going to hit your stop, right? And so one of the things that I set out to do was create a system that almost always, without failure, puts you on the right side of the market, right? Like even if you're only trying to capture a small little move out of the market or a big move, you're on the right side of the market. And that's what the mega bar is. The mega bar algo is built to do this. It's built to take even the most struggling traders and make sure that when you take a trade, you don't have to second guess in your brain if you're fighting the market, which is a very powerful asset to have. How many of you guys know that you cannot beat the market? The market wins every single time. The power of millions is much greater than the power of few in this business, which is one of the reasons why you hear the term the trend is your friend, or you don't fight the current, whatever jargon you want to use. We've ascertained it to a specific bar, and we've been able to identify how to identify these bars so that you know which bar is going to be the trend setter. How many of you guys see a huge trend and you're like, wow, I wish I got in at the beginning of that? Right? How many of you guys have seen a big trend and you're just getting on board at the end of it because you're like, wow, like where did that happen, right? This system will solve that problem. Okay. And we're going to go into that here today. So that's kind of a little bit of a preamble. This is a system that is going to capture momentum and big explosive moves. I'm a momentum trader because I'm a short-term scalper. I also like trends, but like some of you have said, you have a hard time juggling work and trading and stuff. Like, who would have known running businesses takes a lot of your time, right? Well, as a short-term day trader myself, I like to be on the right side of the market for small momentum and small trend trades, right? And I don't mean pullbacks, right? There's different ways to trade momentum and trend. We're going to get into this, guys, and I promise you this is going to be something that is going to be a breath of fresh air, just due to the simplicity of it. So we are going to cover performance. We are going to cover stats. We're going to go over some system results. So just do me a favor. Can you all type a Y in the chat box that you agree and you understand the risks associated with this presentation and the business at large? I'm not your broker, nor am I here to guarantee you anything other than information, education, and software for you to use and make your own decisions. Okay. Now, let's talk about it. So you can see here, there's a huge trend to the downside on this trade, right? And the question is, why did it enter where it did? Well, it entered where it did because that's a mega bar signal. And the mega bar is looking at when to get in, when the big move is about to happen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a cursor here. Bear with me. We're going to bring it over. I'm going to just do this. Okay. How many of you guys have ever been on a train before? Give me a yes if you've ever been on a train before. Okay. So this is the station. Okay. And okay. And this is the train. Okay. And there's a reason I'm doing this, guys. This is not some me just drawing some stupid stuff in a presentation. I promise you there's going to be a reason for this, okay? And if you get on the train here at the station, there is no confusion if the train starts going this way that it's going to pick up steam, yes? And it's going to keep picking up steam until the train puts on its brakes. Well, there is no way that you are going to get on the train in the middle of this movement and expect it not to keep going this way. The speed of velocity, the rate of change, there's laws at stake here. There's the universal laws of cause and effect will push that train forward until the velocity of the weight and the speed at which it's going has to stop. Today was a great example of this train dropping to the bottom of the ocean. It just kept going and kept going. What if it wasn't a strong trending day? What if it was just an oscillating day with some small chop, and then all of a sudden it broke into a quick trend and then it went back into chop? There is going to be moments where the market is going to push, and you don't want to be stopping it here because it's going to run you over. What the mega bar does is it looks at every single bar on a chart, whether it's small, large, and it looks at the average true range of the bars. And it takes a baseline of the ATR, which is, why do we think ATR is so important? How many of you guys know what ATR is? Average true range. There's two driving factors volatility, okay, and volume. Those things are the two most important factors of any trading system. You cannot have a profitable trade unless there's volatility. It has to move in one direction. So movement is critical. Volume is the liquidity, but you can even have the market stay in a very small period of time with lots of volume and there's no movement. Volatility is the most important part. Volume will come after. How do we ascertain the impact? Well, if I have a bar that just goes like this, and all of the other bars are normally like this, that bar tells a story. I don't mean an engulfing bar. I mean a bar relative to the range of the entire market. If I have crude oil and every single bar is like 1 point, right? Which is like 10 ticks. And then all of a sudden I get some random bar that's 3 points. What is that story telling you? It's telling you that something magnificent took place in order for the market to move 3 freaking points when the average movement of this market is only 1. If I have the S&P and the S&P moves 12 ticks on average on whatever time frame you're trading, right? And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the S&P comes in and puts in 24 ticks in one bar. Well, that's 2 times the normal expected movement of this market. And I don't mean order flow and I don't mean volume profile and all that shit's complicated to 90% of the traders. Like there's a learning curve and there's importance. And yes, there's very valid strategies that will use those concepts. Heck, we sell them. But that doesn't make it easy. That doesn't make it understandable. How many of you guys have tried to trade order flow and you're like, man, this shit's complicated? Or volume profile. There's a lot of work involved with volume profile, mapping out the levels, mapping out this. Like it's a process, right? That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It may or may not. The concept of the mega bar is to identify the number one most important thing when the most important bar steps in. Now, there was other mega bars in this trend, but that was the first one that happened. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the mega bar does today and why it is so important, because it is going to be the trend setter on your chart. It is going to be the movement setter. It is going to be the leg setter, right? If I have an oscillating market, like let's say I'm in a trending market, right? Nobody knows that trend is going to go up or down today. Nobody knows we're going to have a huge trend until after the trend is there. Or nobody knows the market's going to do this and have big oscillating ranges. But this system, what it's going to do is it's going to get you in at the beginning of this leg. It's going to get you in at the beginning of this leg. It's going to get you in at the beginning of this trend. It has to. Because there's no way that a freight train can pick up momentum unless it starts. And what we're doing is we're measuring the train. We're looking for the train that is saying, hey, get on board right now because I'm about to leave the station and I have statistical evidence that this is me leaving the station. And that is exactly what I've done, is I've created a mathematical way to look at which bars are the trend setters of the market. Now, it's not something that just comes to you. I come from a stats background. Jeff is a DevOps manager. We've got guys that look at these things with us. We look at different concepts, and then we make sure they work. So what I'm going to do is when we go through some of these things, right? If you're going to trade consistently, everybody wants to basically look at the math, right? We all want money. I get it. Everybody wants this. I don't care about this right now, and I don't care about this. Yes, we all want it, and sure, it's exciting. If I can show you really great stats, which I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to show you that this is really, really, really badass. What's more important to me is that you can do it. The only way you're going to be consistent in using this strategy is if you find it simple and you believe in it. So simplicity will lead to an understanding, which will lead to a doing. If you can understand what you're trading, it's really easy for you to get behind it. How many of you guys buy strategies or have you bought tools and then all of a sudden you just don't know if you're 100% behind it? You know, like you bought it, you spent money on it. You're just like, I spent money, but like, I don't know if I trust this, or I don't really understand it, or I sometimes understand it, but why is it doing that right now? Like, or why is it not working today when it should be working today? Like, the key here is that the mega bar is not designed to just work in trending days or in oscillating days. It's designed to work in every single environment because it's going to set the trend for the leg that you're going to trade. Now, target management is important, but we'll get into that in just a second. So let's talk about why I'm a big component of automated strategies. I have data, spent thousands of dollars for the reports to understand the growing trends in the industry at large in terms of the financial markets. Years ago, there was a lot of people using indicators, right? Just like years ago, there wasn't Starbucks, and now Starbucks is there, and now it's a brand that everybody knows, right? There's trends that take place in this industry in trading, right? AI is starting to become a trend, okay? Automation is a very, very rapidly growing trend right now in the space. And I don't just mean for retail, I mean for everything. The automated industry is growing at about a 70% faster growth rate than every single other industry in the financial markets outside of AI. And there's a reason for it. It's because traders are sick and tired of losing a lot of money. I know without a question of my mind or doubt that if I were to take 10 traders and they were all automated traders, they will do better than 10 discretionary traders. That is just a proven fact. Why? Because most of their decisions are based off of data backing their edge. And retail traders don't have the data. They don't have the infrastructure to be able to prove that what they're doing is going to make them money. So I'm a big component of fixing all the emotions and getting yourself into a trade and getting your, making sure you're not dealing with, self-sabotage and over trading. That's all fixed with algo trading. But the most important part about automation is being able to take the historical data to be able to provide evidence that there's some form of an edge that warrants you taking that risk into the market. Whether you're trading your own money or you're trading for a prop firm, it doesn't matter. You're still trading for an outcome. And how many of you guys would rather trade a strategy that you could look over the last month and see that it was really, really doing well versus just shooting by the hip? I think I'm going to take this signal today. Why? Because the trade room moderator's trading it. Like, how many of you guys would agree with me that having data to back your information would make more logical sense if you're going to risk capital in the market? If you have a business and you knew that that business had good financials, wouldn't that make more sense to say that it's a successful business than just hoping that the business is going to make money and it doesn't have any history of making money? There's reasons for this, guys. And so I'll give you an example. If I have two types of traders, and I do this every event, and I'm going to keep doing this because it's important. If I have an automated trader over here and a discretionary trader over here, and I can see that over the last month that the market did this in terms of the P&L, but over here, I didn't have a trade log that showed me 100 trades. And I have no way to gauge what took place. Maybe I took some trades, whatnot. If you were going to go and trade a strategy, which one would you trust more? You tell me. The one that you're still trying to figure out, I'm not sure, or one that's given evidence that, hey, this is doing something significant that warrants the attention. I will always bank my money on this every single time because I can ascertain, I can make decisions on the risk. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take a strategy that's backed by data, that's going to help fix all those problems and make you a more accurate trader so that you can trade with confidence. How many of you guys think that sounds good? Give me a yes or a no. How many of you guys are on that wavelength right now? Okay. So, a couple things. Arc AI is known for redoing things at the highest level. Why? Because we build things that others don't. We believe that just a signal is not enough. So one of the things, for those of you that are familiar with our products, this is a redo for you. You're going to know this, but we have an engine. We have redone the entire infrastructure inside of Ninjatrader for automated trading systems. And we've built a core engine that we call the brain of the systems. And what these brains do is it allows us to build profitable strategies using the signals. A signal is just a signal. Anybody can say, hey, buy here, sell there. That's a signal, right? That's what we call a black box. What Arc AI does and what our engines do for automated strategies is that we add levels of efficiency to our systems through sizing, through stops and target management, through time blockers and windows of trade activity. We look at money management and directional filters, and then we look at how do we take the signals and make them better. How do we take the strategies and make them more profitable, make them more efficient, give them a better edge? Because anybody can have a strategy that hits a signal once in a while, but that's not a good trading approach. A signal is not enough. And so this comes inside of all of our strategies. So one of the benefits that you can benefit from is knowing that all of this is already a part of what you're looking at. You don't have to worry about trying to figure it out. We will show you how to do it, and we will do it with you. Okay. So the mega bar, let's get into this. The mega bar is exactly it. It's the mega big kahuna. It's the big daddy. It's the bar that sets the trend or the leg in the market. So you can see both these trades, long and short. There's a reason why it entered where it did, because the bar before it was the mega bar. Now you would know that. You would not know that. Looking at this chart, if you were to just take away these entries right here and right here, and I didn't tell you what the strategy was doing, you would not know why that trade strategy executed right there. Because there is no way for you to go through every single one of these candles and identify the ATR of the market that is normalized or aggressive. The mega bar is going to look at aggressive ATR, and it's going to say that bar is not normal. And that is the bar where the big boys are filling up the tank. Now, what's unique about this is if this bar just plots like this, we don't know that it's going to go that way. We do not. We do not know it's going to go that far. But there's a very, very high degree of certainty that when you enter these trades here on these bars or on these mega trades here, that there is a high degree of certainty that it's going to give you a good pop, a very good pop. And the reason for this is that you don't even need to think about it. Why? It's because if I'm on the train, I don't necessarily know where it's going to stop, but I know that it's definitely got to keep going until it slows down. This is not an engulfing candle. Sometimes these bars will not engulf the prior bar. The range could be completely different. Yeah, this is not an engulfing bar. Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you an example. That bar did not engulf the prior range candle. It didn't take out the highs or the lows. It just took out the lows. You would not know that. So this is what I'm trying to do here is I want to explain that the goal of the mega bar, okay, is not to predict the holy grail trend. If it keeps trending, great. But the goal of the mega bar is to get you on the train and ensure that it gives you this. If it keeps giving you this, it's because the train just wanted to keep going. But my goal is to make sure that you consistently make as much money on that, because the velocity of the market has to give you a big move, a big chunk, a whack, right? And that is what statistical analysis is. When you look at stats and you look at ascertaining the data, I'm a big component of finding an edge in little moves out of the market. And if you catch the big trend, great. It just so happens that the big trend always normally follows the mega bar. So we're going to go into this. We're going to get into this. I could talk about all this stuff here. You could take a screenshot. I don't want to bore you with the same stuff over and over again that everybody's used to hearing. You know, we could have a breakout system. We could do design for any time frame. We already know all that. I want to get you into the meat. I want to get you into what matters the most. Are you guys okay with that? I like to cut through some of the noise, and I like to get right into the information that matters in these presentations. Is that okay with you guys? Right? Yeah, and with these, you can have a really good R multiple on these because you could just have a tight stop. If the market's going to do what it's going to do, it's going to pop the way it is supposed to pop. Yeah. So here's an example. You can take a look at the moves after each one of these bars. Now, here's a great example of this candle. I mean, you can see the bar, it sticks out like a sore thumb, but they're not engulfing candles. Not all of them are going to be an engulfing bar. Not all of them are going to be what you assume it to be, because the volatility could change today to yesterday or tomorrow. If you think about this, just because this mega bar was the mega bar today, that doesn't mean it will be the mega bar next week, because the volatility of the market changes, which means our algorithm is going to look at the current volatility of normal ATR, and it's going to say, okay, wait a second. The volatility is getting lower and lower and lower. Mega bars will eventually decrease in size if the volatility is slowing down. I hear all the time people make excuses. Oh, summer trading, right? Summer trading. Well, I can promise you this, that summer trading is just an excuse used by traders that are getting slapped. Everybody has an excuse why they're not making money in the market. I'm here to tell you that this automatically adjusts to the conditions. So if the market is picking up and we have back to back trending days and the volatility is massive, right? The volatility of the mega bar will increase because the market is telling it to, and then vice versa. So it's an auto updating volatility system, I guess you would say, and it automatically updates based off statistics in the market, which gives it a huge advantage because most people would never know to look at this type of stuff. That's why math quants, and that's why a lot of more professional nature traders and firms and family offices will have a quant advantage. I'm just trying to help you understand the power that it can bring to you. Now, these are going to produce extended range candles. Why most mega bars have to be. Most bars must be an ERC, an extended range bar. It has to be, because the market has to come in and the train needs to lose the station. Now, a couple things here is, if you take a look at this, the way that you can enter these trades is you can enter it with an offset. So let's say I get the bar. This is the mega bar. So this is the bullish ERC, which is what we call the mega bar. Okay. It's popping here. You can see this is the freight train pushing. Doesn't mean it's ready. It might want to, people might want to stop and load back up at the station, but that is still a very good trade, right? Depending on the time frame, that's a big trade. And this is going to give you the opportunity to enter right at the open of that bar with an offset. You can change the open offset. You can do that. You can change the offset of that bar. And no, you don't need to optimize this daily, because the volatility of the market is going to be brought into the market. So you're going to be able to pull ATR in on the testing. And unless you see something crazy happening where you feel you need to change the parameters, most people are just going to want to optimize your stops and targets. But you don't need to do that, because we already have 4 templates that are just insane. And you can be the judge of that yourself, right? I'll show you these templates, and we'll give them to you. We've already built them for you, John, so you don't have to worry about trying to optimize them. Yeah. Okay. It's one benefit that we've added. We've actually brought in a bunch of ambassadors meaning traders that are trading our systems. And the key here is that we have testers that are building profitable trading templates, automated traders that are using our software that are part of the team now, and they're basically helping Jeff produce a lot more templates for our users. So all of you that are, back a year ago and you're like, can you provide us templates for the systems? The answer is yes, and lots of them, and we'll keep providing them to you guys. Yeah, that's part of the thing that we did here is we expanded that for everyone. Yeah. So a couple things on the stop loss. You can put the stop loss wherever you want. You can have a positive offset or a negative offset. And what that means is, depending on where you want the stop loss based off of that signal bar, you can have the stop loss below the signal bar, or you can have it inside of the signal bar with a tight stop. And, we're seeing quite regularly, tight stops in here will give a big push, and you don't need to have a huge stop. You don't need a huge stop for these markets, because if you're on the right side of the freight train, there's no reason it's going backwards, right? If you're on the right side of this candle, right, and that move, there's a reason where they should go this way and not that way. That is the whole point. The mega bar is designed to tell you it's going this way, not that way, which is great. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a confusion, James. Let me address that question. I normally wouldn't do questions midstream, but I will address it. So why would we need to optimize if it's self-adjusting? Because depending on your stops and targets, the strategy doesn't know where you want to take stops and targets. You set the stops and targets, right? But the strategy knows the signal logic behind the ATR. The ATR will automatically adapt to the market conditions. But whether you want to take a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 or a 5-to-1, the system would never know your objective, right? You have to still tell the strategy, I want to trade for this, right? So good question though. Yeah, great. So here's a great example. You can see that even though this trade continued, it gave this first before it showed any heat on the trade. That might be enough for you to trade for a prop firm, taking bits out of the market, not holding into the pullbacks. If you're looking for a big trend, you can just keep riding it. Just depends. Take a look. As soon as we got that signal, very little heat. Boom. As soon as we get the signal, very little heat. Isn't that what we want? Like how many times you get into a trade and it just starts giving you heat? You're like, fuck, like again. Like, come on, tell me I'm not the only one that hates that. Like if I'm in a trade and it automatically starts going against me as soon as I get into the trade, isn't it just muck you up from an emotional perspective? Like some of you are Jedis and you've learned to overcome it, but like I would say that the majority of the audience here is probably on the same wavelength as me. Nobody freaking likes it, right? So if you had a strategy that there's a much higher probability of making sure that that is not about to happen, right? That is what I've designed in this concept. Is I've designed a system that will push. As long as you're on it, you can ride that. Okay. So a couple things before we get into a demo is this is really important. We don't provide templates optimized for money management because A, we're not allowed to legally. That really can't tell you how much you should be risking per trade. And I think everybody needs to start with the strategy making a lot of money, and then you optimize money management second. So one of the big benefits of the ARC algos, including this system, is that we've added a component for money management. And the money management allows you to be able to come in and say, okay, I want to risk $500 on this, on every single trade. With automated strategies, right? Like if your stop loss is variable, a variable stop loss, okay? That means that you might have a stop loss that is this big on one trade. You might have a stop loss that is this big on one trade. You might have a stop loss that's that big on that. If you are trading a strategy that the risk of each trade can be changing, that means your money management must also be changing on a per trade basis. And what this means is that our systems automatically adapt your position sizing for you. This is one of the biggest updates we did, and I think it's the most important part of the risk side of the business equation, is that you just need to define how much you want to risk per trade. Our algo will automatically determine the size of your stop. Some trades you might go in with 5 contracts, then some with 2, then some with 10. It doesn't, all that matters is that every trade is risking the same amount. And then once you know that, you don't have to be like, oh my God, like, am I over leveraging my trades? Like, am I under leveraging my trades? You don't want to be doing that. You want to be staying consistent. And our systems will do this for you. You don't have to think, it automatically does it for you. Okay. So let's get into freebies. All right. Jim wants me to give away a free license before we do the demo. Who wants to win? So let's do this. I'm going to run a poll. Do me a favor here, guys, and do me a favor. If you can't win if you don't put your name in the poll. So 1, 2, 3. Launching the poll. Just fill out your name. Tell me that you want to be. We're going to pull those numbers, and then that way, what that'll do is we will put that in the randomizer 2000, and we'll see what happens. Right. It's giveaway time. We'll announce the winner via email. Even if you buy it and you win it, we'll just refund you the money. We've done that many times. Some people like to buy it today or wait, whatever is best for you. But at the end of the day, we'll make sure you're getting taken care of, right? So I'm going to end the poll in 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. So let's go into this for a second. I'm going to show you a trade that was taken on the mega bar. Then we're going to go into some back testing. Okay, we're going to go into some stuff. Okay, so let's go in and take a look at this. I'm going to turn on the mic so you can hear it. Let's do this.
What's going on, traders? Jim Simmons here with Neuro Street Trading Academy and RKI, here to do a quick overview of the all-new Mega Bar Algo. We're going to see the trade in action, and then we will recap once the trade is done. Here we go.
You guys can hear that okay? So let me ask you this, like that bar just took that trade, right? This is literally one of the trades that was in the templates. It was insanely amazing. It just, now watch what happens here.
Okay, so there we have it. A really nice trade that took a good chunk of the market with it, and really nice. So it all started with this. So this is the bar that started this whole move. This is the signal. What is the signal? It has to be below the EMAs, and it has to be a large bar, much larger than ATR. And you get those conditions, and I mean, the market will fly off of these bars. And so that's it. It's below the EMAs. It's a big bar. It gets in as a break trade. And this particular setting has no target. There's no target on this. It just trails the stop all the way down until the trade is done. Okay, next let's take a look at a long trade and see what this thing can do going the other direction. Here we go.
So when it's done, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to show you. So let's stop it right here. Like if you're looking at all these bars right here, okay, you can see the size of the bars. Now you can't see them unless you're measuring every single bar for every single size. But then if you just look closely, the size of that candle is ever so slightly bigger than all the others. Why? Because it's got mega movement coming into it from a liquidity perspective, and it's abnormal, which is the trend setter. Now, we don't know it's going to go here, but it's got to go here. And you're going to get behind the move. And look, like it captures these massive trades. Now, you could set targets. You do not have to trail, but it catches the beginning of what everybody's been bitching about their whole lives. Right? Like, how do I get in at the beginning? It's the trend setters, guys. Right?
Okay, so there we go on the long side. Got a great trade out of this going long as well. You know, bottom line, if there's a big trade to be had, this thing is going to find it. That's been my experience with it. Is this thing can find those big trades and just load up, and you can grab tons of profit. So it can be great on its own, but certainly great as an addition to what you're already doing, maybe adding it into a portfolio of algos, that sort of thing as well. But anyway, that's it for now. Enjoy the rest of the event, and we'll see you in the AMA tomorrow. Cheers.
So what I'm going to do here is I want to show you a few things. How many of you guys would love to capture a few of those freaking trades? Everybody would. Everybody would. If you say no, you're in the wrong group. Okay. So a couple things. I do not think that everybody's goal is to be driven by ego and expect to start here and always go here with the entire freaking leg of the market. Because as we know, there's about a 70-30 split. 30% are big trends, right? There's about 30% of your movements in the market are big trends trying to seek new balance. And then 70% is either tight ranges or large ranges, right? And then there's the 30% that trends, right? Well, the goal needs to be, if you're, especially if you're trading prop firm trades and you're trading for funding evaluations and you're doing this, you may not want to hold on for that unless you're trading with very small size and you're capturing large runners, which this system is designed to do too. You might want to size up and just capture the legs and just capture the legs. And that's exactly what this system is designed to do. So you don't need to worry if you capture the entire move, you just capture the move that matters. And so I've got 4 templates here. Now, I'm really proud of what we've done, and I'll explain why. Because as we keep evolving the strategies that we're building, we're getting better at building better systems. Like the overall average profit factor of all of the strategies that we've been producing is just drastically getting better, which means the system logic is getting better. The strategy concepts are just better, which means the strategies are more profitable, which is exactly what we want as a trading community. Is you want strategies that have more profitable potential. Now, the way we gauge this is through profit factors. And normally anything over a 1.5 is something to be traded. But I mean, we've kind of set the new standard where, like, if it ain't over 2 or more, like, I don't even want to look at it. Right. And a 2 profit factor as a day trader or more. I mean, we're getting into the 3s. I mean, sometimes you're getting, it depends on what your strategy settings are. We geared this to more shorter term moves, not really, really big trends. We could change the dynamics of these templates and do really big R multiples. And I promise you, you're going to see some massive, massive numbers. Like most prop traders aren't going to trade for like a 5 or a 7 or a 10 to 1 R multiple in a day, but I can assure you that the mega bar is going to give you that trade. We design these templates so that we be more for the prop trading community, because most of you are trading prop firm accounts, at least for the majority of people I know. And that's what these strategies are designed to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in here. We're going to take a look at, there's 4 different templates. Okay. And we've got it on the MES. We've got it on the ES. We've got it on the MNQ. Okay. Now these are on different settings, different concepts for it. One is on a 6,000 volume. The other one's on a 900 volume, right? This one's on a 1,200 volume, and this one's on a 1,200 volume, right? And so, what's unique about using volume charts for this is that when you have an abnormal volatile bar that is based on volume, you're getting the added benefit of volume, right? And you're also using volatility behind a volume-based bar. Does that make sense? If you're using time, it's fine, but there's no volume data. If you use a volume-based chart and then you use a volatility-driven stat system like this, you're combining volatility and volume just by using the bar type. And this is just me bringing some experience in here as to why we would choose volume charts over time. Does everybody understand that? Give me a yes if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go in here, take a look at this one here. I'm just going to take a look, move this out of the way. Okay. So this is about a 0.7 R multiple. Very, very good for prop firm trading. 82% hit rate. This is over the last month. This is the entire month of July. 3.5 profit factor, right? And if I come in here, that's the day breakdown of this system. Okay. If I go in here and I take a look at this is the equity curve on this. Okay. And this is just kind of a breakdown of the trades, right? So this is a breakdown of all the trades, right? So this is the one template that was producing these results. Okay. Let's go in here and take a look at this one. I'll end with this one up here on the MES because it's designed for more trades and more scalping. And you see the number of trades went from like 88 here to like 125. That's almost double the sample size, right? So we want to, and we've doubled the sample size. So this is super, super exciting, is that even with this template, which is still very, very good on the NQ, we've doubled the sample size, right? While maintaining the same level of efficiency with a higher profit factor, which means we're getting more trades on this template with better performance, which means more data, which means a better edge. So I'm just showing you why we look at doing these things to give you guys that information, right? So so here's the template. Okay, this is this template here. Let's go in here to trades. So this has been the overall breakdown of this template over the past 30 days. Right. And so it's been quite efficient on this. Let's go into this one here, which is ultimately the 900 volume. Okay. And this one is different. So what do you see that's different about this template? So let me see if you guys catch it. Let's go here. What is, I'm going to see if I'm testing you guys. What's the difference between these two templates? I want to see if everybody's paying attention here. The one on the right, okay, versus the one on the left. Can anybody tell me what type of a trading strategy approach is used on the one on the right versus the one on the left, just by looking at the data? Let's see if anybody here is paying attention to that. I know I'm putting some skill testing questions here, and let's see if you, let me throw a few hints. Look at the winning percentage. Yes. So when you look at the one on the right, this is a scalping template for day traders for quick one-to-one, less than one-to-one targets, right? This one here is built for large R multiples. You're going to have a lower win rate, but you're going to make a lot more money with smaller drawdowns if you hold on for those bigger trades, right? So this is where you can see that we've built different templates for different strokes for different folks, right? Not everybody wants to scalp. Some traders want those big freaking trades, right? And I don't blame you. And there's nothing wrong with having one running a scalp template and one running a massive trender. So let's take a look at this. Let's go into this one. Go into this. So you're going to see here the stops, really small losses, but big wins on this one, right? This is catching the big legs. And so if you take a look at the chart, let's take a look at these trades. Let's take a look at where they're over here. Yeah, you're going to capture the bigger trades. Let's go back here. Let's just find it. Yeah, so look at this. This is the trailing. It's designed to capture, and take a look. This one captured the first push. Look at this signal here. It pushed. You could have made profit on there on the scalp template. That would have been a winning profitable trade. This was a break even. Okay. But look at the big runners. It sets the tone here. Like this is, even this on a scalping template, you would have made your money. It just didn't catch the big leg. So this is what I mean by having both of these templates running. And you have the ability to be able to trade the big trends or the momentum. Now this is set specifically. Take a look. So you can see here that this one captured that intraday trend quite nicely. This one, quick stop. This one here, look at this. This moved big. It gave the scalp. So this is a trending template. So that's why you're not taking the profits on the scalp templates, but it's going to capture the big moves. And when it does, it's got a tight stop and a huge profit objective. Okay. This is a really choppy day, got sideways back and forth. But remember, this is this is the trending template. So it's going to take the big trends. Okay. Take a look at this trend trade here. Don't worry about the small little ones, because the whole point of this strategy is to take a few stops and then capture the big leg. Where is it always getting into the big leg? At the freaking beginning. We never know when the market is going to trend big. So if you're always in at the beginning and it starts to trend big, then you let it run. Now, like I said, if I was using this, I would be using both the trending template and the scalping template simultaneously. Why? Because that way I'm not giving back my profit on the first push. Some traders don't like trading the full trends. How many of you guys don't like riding the whole trend because you don't like staying in the market for long periods of time, or you don't trust being in the market with that much risk over time? Some people don't like it. Some people are just short-term traders. They like to be in, they like to be out, done, objective achieved. Well, that's what this template's for. And this template is amazing, like amazing. It's got the highest trade frequency per day. It's got an amazing R multiple breakdown for a huge sample size, and it's got a great profit factor. And so let's take a look at this. This is the MES template. It's an amazing template. It's an amazing strategy breakdown. And you can take a look at this. Like it is hitting consistently, like a lot. And if I go into the trade breakdown on this, okay, right, it's just straight up and to the right. And it's because of the way it's designed. I'm going to show you how we're going to go into the chart. And it is designed to capture just the push. It is designed, like I said, we never know if the market's going to be a trending day or a non-trending day, but it doesn't matter what type of a day it is. If you catch the train, it's going to take you to the next stop. It has to. The market has to move. It's just too much movement from those bars. And that's exactly what you're seeing here. You're seeing that every single time we captures those trades. Take a look at this. Let's just draw the circle on the signal. There's the trade, push. There's the trade, push. There's the trade, almost got the target, which is fine. There was the trade, push. There was the trade, push. There was the trade, push. There's always an immediate reaction off these bars. And to me, that is an amazing edge because you can scalp that all day long on 10 accounts and you could ride that to the bank because you're not trying to predict the leg. I didn't care if it did this. Could I have made a lot more money on the other template? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's the way you want to be trading it. So we give you both. We give you both with this. And we spend a lot of time trying to optimize that so that you would have the ability to take advantage of that, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't care what you say, that is exactly what we're trying to accomplish. As a statistical quant trader, that is what we're trying to accomplish. Right? Over 125 trades. Can anybody in here send me their trading log today that can show me 125 trades that can beat that performance? Maybe one or two people. That is the objective of running automated strategies that have a statistical advantage. Now, there's a lot to be said about the design of the strategy. This is not an order flow system. This is not an engulfing system or a pin bar. We're not looking at random wicks or other things. We are looking for major conviction behind the only bigger players that can do a bar like that. There's retail traders cannot create a bar that is 3 to 4 times the ATR. It just can't happen. There's not enough weight behind the activity behind retail traders. So if somebody's stepping in with big movement, there has to be some type of a reaction to that. Right. And that's exactly what we're doing with this system. In my opinion, it's the easiest system I think we've ever produced with the best performance. Right. There's a lot of other strategies we've produced with really great performance. This is by far the easiest strategy that I think we've ever built that just slams performance. So that's when I said earlier at the beginning of the presentation, if we are going to expect some type of efficiency, it needs to be easy for you to understand it. How many of you guys understand the concept of what I've said today? Like, is it rocket scientists need to know this? I don't think anybody needs to be super smart to know that I'm looking for a big short bar. Let the algo do what it needs to do. The ATR is way bigger than all the other bars. And then you can just expect that the train is going to go this way. Boom. And then when we catch a big long bar like this, I don't care where it's going. I just know that the train has to do this, at least give me enough out of the market. It's just super simple. Like, if all you do is just get really good at doing this every single day, like, you would have had that today a few times. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Who's ready for this? Tell me yes that you think that that's just amazing. Like, to me, this is this is better than smart money. This is easy money. It's right. I'm not saying that trading is not difficult, and I'm not trying to sit there and break regulations. I'm just saying that if I were to look at the strategies that are out there, including the ones we've built, they're not all easy, and they're not always traded with the same type of conviction. I think that if you get on board a train, you know it's going in one direction, period. And that's why we've designed it. And the fact that we've been able to show profitability on both momentum push trades as well as large trend trades, and we're always getting in at the beginning of the move, like, what else can you ask for? Like, what else? Getting into a trade that gives you very little heat and always gives you immediate push. So a couple questions here. I see a couple new traders in here. Our strategies are not black box systems, so these can be used by all prop firms. We have the ability to turn them off intra-trade. You can step in and manage them manually. So these are not considered black box systems, which means every prop firm can use these. You can use these in every prop firm. Yeah. Good question, Eric. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. These are automatically acceptable by all prop firms. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Rao. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go over some pricing, explain the logic behind the price points behind the system, and then open up a poll to ask questions and go over some Q&A. Keep it super simple. I'm pretty glad that we are going to just end at the hour mark today. Wow. So let's go into it. Okay. So let me break down the pricing so you guys can understand the strategy. Okay. So the signal, okay, the signal engine is this. This is the Algo engine, which is all the testing components, which is the backbone to us building the Algo engine for all the signals. So this is the actual signal, and this is considered the brain. We have a private group set up for this, so all the traders using this can use this. And ultimately, we have big detailed documentation. We can install it for you if you're new in here and you don't know Ninja, or if you're just new to automated strategies. It can be daunting sometimes, so we got you covered, right? We handle all the heavy lifting. To me, this is worth a hell of a lot more than anything. This is like an entire month of 5 people's time building the strategy templates for you to have, right, etc. And then ultimately, we have a course and we have a VIP training tomorrow. So everybody who buys the software is invited to the VIP event tomorrow. I mean, what is a pretty big offer? Like, we're dropping it, less than $1,000. Like, it's a $7,000 package. We're dropping it down to less than $1,000, right? So I mean, it's cheap enough that it's not going to break the bank, and it's efficient that it's going to become an exceptional tool for you to trade with, right? We give you 4 templates with this, Mark. So you'll have 4 strategy optimized templates on 3 different markets: ES, MES, and MNQ. And we're going to be going over this tomorrow. Now, I know Jim has his preference on the big kahuna trades. I know he loves those big trailers. But I also know Jeff's got the momentum push trades under his belt. So the two of them are going to be spearheading that AMA tomorrow. A couple things too is that they, we have a policy here. If you're not completely satisfied, right, you can swap it. We do not allow swaps for new launches. So you cannot swap a prior product for a new release. It's just our policy. It has been for years, and it is for it is. So no, you cannot swap a prior algo for this. But if you do decide to buy this, and you, for whatever reason, you say, hey, you know what, Sean, like, I just don't get it. The mega bar doesn't love me, which I can't see how it's, I think it's impossible how that anybody couldn't just jump on board a freight train and ride that. But we have 20 other strategies which you could swap out for inside of our arsenal, which is, there's no risk to you, right? So ultimately, I just hope you guys understand we do put policies in place to help our consumers find out that they don't have buyer's remorse. Now, the other thing here is tomorrow's VIP training. Okay, it's at 1:00 Eastern. We're going to be going over the system. We're going to be going over the signals, the templates, the logic, how to build it, how to test it, how to optimize it yourself if you want to. You don't need to, because they're already built and done for you. But it's just good to know how to drive the car if you buy it, right? But you have to own the software to be invited to the event. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to run a poll. The reason I run these polls, guys, is so that I can let my staff know to help with the installations. So can you do me a favor here? If you're going to be processing the mega bar, I want to make sure that our team can stay late and help you with installations and support. I really think that there's something here that is not in the other systems. I think that a lot of traders are going to see this as easy money. I know I keep saying that, but like when I've been looking at these strategies, and we built a lot of them, man, like a lot of them, pattern recognition systems are different. This is a momentum based system. This is purely jumping on board the market big players. And it happens every day. You're never going to be without trades. You'll never be without trades. You'll always have trades this day. Yeah. Great, guys. Is there settings to get more trades for manual trading, Daniels? These are automated, but you don't have to turn the automation on. You can turn the signals on, and you can just use them for signals. But so if you don't want to run automation, you could do them manually. But yeah, I almost want to run a competition with the traders trading this. I just think that like everybody's going to win something. I think everybody's going to win on this. Great. So Terry says, with one Ninja account, one PC, one license, could you run 4 different charts at the same time? Yes. Yes, you can. What time are you trading? Morning and afternoons. I don't have any data loaded for today, Randall, because I set this up yesterday. I don't have it loaded on today's charts just due to the Ninjatrader makes me back to download historical data after the market close. So that's why we always do it the day before the event, because Ninjatrader servers, you can't download historical data for the current day. So I never set everything up for that, for the purpose of that, but I hope you understand. Yeah. Yeah, you can use a small account, Eric, if you're using a prop firm account. Yeah. You can use it on any platform, just not on TradingView. It's on Ninja at this time. Yeah. Yeah, you can set signals up in the overnight. Excuse me. Yeah. You can adjust the ATR, James. You can actually optimize the ATR, which is a part of the system. So you don't have to try to figure out what that ATR needs to be. Yeah. Let the algo do what it's designed to do. Take away all the hard things. Right. Well, Eric, it depends. If you're trading your own account, I mean, what's small to you might be completely different what's small to somebody else. If you're trading for a prop firm, the smallest accounts are most likely 50K accounts. I think some accounts, some prop firms run 25K express accounts and stuff like that, but yeah. You can use an ATM, Giovanni. Yeah, it uses Ninja's ATMs. Yeah, you can run the ATMs. It has it actually built in. Yeah. Two PCs can run at the same time. Yeah, you get two licenses. You can do that. Yeah. Yeah. Great questions. How many of you guys enjoyed the event? Right, I always enjoy putting these on. You know, I know I've brought up, you know, I'm really proud of Jim and Jeff and the guys. You know, like my proteges. You know, it took years for us to systemize what we're doing, and I just love seeing how well they're doing and helping you guys and teaching the algo weeks and stuff like that. And Jeff and his team getting you guys everything. I'm just glad you guys are enjoying that. Yeah, appreciate it. Perfect. How many of you guys are getting excited for Tick Blaze and our prop firm? Oh, it's coming. And it's coming big. Jim, what do you think? Pause the event, end it, do a little quick demo, a little show and tell.
That's up to you. Just, I'm
Well,
sure
we
people
we
wouldn't
finished a
mind
little
geeking
early.
out for a bit.
We finished a little early. I figure you know, we
Yeah.
got pretty large audience. I don't want to derail the focus, but you know, Jim, for all of you guys that fill out the poll and you guys requested questions and answers and stuff like that, and anybody here, maybe Jim, you can put your email in. Eric, yeah, we won't reach out to you. I'm going to get you to email in. It's easier for us to create a thread like that for you. So maybe Jim, you can put the email in, and Eric and anyone else wants to get in touch with you, they can. Yeah. So are you guys okay with me changing the discussions here? I know a lot of you guys are a part of our community, and I want to thank you guys for giving me the hour of your day. I know we're selling a product here, but your time is still very valuable. Your attendance is always appreciated, so we're grateful for your being here. How many of you guys would like to see a demo of Tick Blaze, of what's coming in the platform, the pipeline, the algo side of the platform, all that fun stuff in between? Yeah. Okay. Great. I'm going to stop the recording.